much collection you got going on right now? You don't have to look to see about collection. You have to feel collection. Lower your hands. Good. Now, as of this morning, she's got 100% more than she had.
Yeah.
Which actually works out to like 1%.
No. No.
Okay. Doesn't matter. You're good. Now, the thing is, you got this. You know why? They're old, you're young.
You got more time to get good than we do.
Doesn't mean you're handy, you're just young.
I know. Can I go back?
Good. Look to your left. On this exercise, the feet can't stop. If the feet stop, you just stop the motor. Remember, it's your horse's body in perpetual motion. Good. Leg, leg, leg. Austin, you're still neck reining too much. Get it? You're still doing too much of this. You're gonna find out you don't need to.
Okay.
It's a habit of Western riding when you ride dang horses. You ride a good horse.
Really good
So
horse.
when I want to bring his back end around, I reach back here more.
If you have to,
Okay.
stop your horse. Left leg. Ah, good deal. He just stepped on his old cornet band. You see that?
Yes.
All right, we don't.
Ow, 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 ow.
For horses, you let the horse figure out not to do that.
We don't put all the...
Set the reins down. Everybody says that's a hot horse. That ain't a hot horse. That's a horse that has bad habits. There. Now stop and set the reins down as soon as you can. Back to go. Here's the deal, you guys. Still novelty. Good walk. I don't want to kill it. I'm going to say I need you to get into a schooling walk. No, don't stop. Just get in a schooling walk. Good. Get a schooling walk. Flexion. Can you hear that breathing? Horse breathing? What happens is, you guys, is their throat muscles tighten up. They go. It's because the muscles are bigger on the bottom, and they actually cut the air off because now I put him in collection. When his nose is out, he can keep breathing, you don't hear it. Okay, when the muscles relax, you won't hear that anymore. That's him pushing on the bit. He thinks getting behind the bit will get rid of the pressure. When he gets behind the bit, then I bump him. Oh no, just keep your head straight. You'll be fine.
There's a lot of tension and wrinkles in his jaw area.
Now you can appreciate what I was talking about earlier. The feet are a given, you guys. Concentrate on the collection. I'm letting the nose go back out, see it? But I'm not letting him walk off. No, he just clocked out. Now the two biggest things that I've seen that are wrong everywhere I go is people putting a 12-year-old gelding in a Hackamore. It's been rode for 10 years. They think they're going to make it lighter.
Right.
Okay, that doesn't work. That's not what a Hackamore is designed for. A Hackamore is designed for training a young horse to evolve into a bit. In the cowboy world, if the brow band's pointed back, it's not for trade. If the brow band's pointed forward, it'll trade. Just so you know, in case that comes up at Jordan Valley or something.
Now what about the Rietas? That's the one way or the other
Just
too.
hang it on your arm, because a cowboy wouldn't walk around with holding a Rieta.
I see.
It's like in the movies, you're always taking your hat off. You don't take your hat off. Now, this is Right here, I'll just show you a piece of it. Here's the bone, here's the cartilage. I put the nose band on the cartilage. That's where I want it. Now the brow band keeps the nose band square, and the throat latch keeps it away from the eye. And in the buckaroo world, it's called frontier justice, kangaroo court, whatever you want. If you get some guy with just one little thin strand because he thinks he's cool riding a Hackamore, as you go by, you just hook your hand in it and pull it off and hand it to him. And you try to do it at 30 miles an hour. And you will see them with something to hold it on the next time you see them. All right, now you notice the distance isn't as great, and the nose band will roll, and there's what they call pre-signals. The weight of the Puckett is the same diameter as the Bosal. So when you pick up on it, watch the nose band first. A lot of people think the nose band is how you make them. Well, to me, it's nothing more than a pre-signal. The nose band will move when you pick up the rein. Now, the truth is about a Hackamore, I've only got one wrap on this because of the horse I rode. Now, on this particular one, I could put 2 wraps on it. Now, if you watch this Hackamore, I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to let go. The let go is the release. It's no difference than when when you were riding today, we kept saying check release. Well, you're going to physically see check, release, check, release, check, release. There's not a whole lot of play here. You don't want a whole lot of play. All right, now the whole deal on a Hackamore that you probably won't hear is this muscle right here on the side of the muzzle. So right there. Now what I want you to do is just lightly touch that muscle with your finger. Go ahead. If you're thinking of having a Hackamore, right there, and just barely touch that muscle. No, it's right here. No, right there. See how soft that is?
Yeah.
That's how you ride a Hackamore horse. That's how. Come here and see this.
That's the signal.
See that?
Yeah.
Touch that. That's the signal.
Yeah.
And you want to check this? Right there, just touch that muscle. Okay, now watch when I pick this Hackamore up. See it touching that muscle?
Mm-hmm.
All right. When a Hackamore horse is done, and you touch that muscle, they put themselves in self-carriage. That's after 2 or 3 years of riding. That's how light a Hackamore horse is. Okay, 9 out of 10 horses, this part of the Puckett touches the jawbone. And that's what stops the horse. That's when it turns into a lever. See it touching the jawbone? You've already gone past the signal, now you're into a lever. So if your horse stops off of this instead of that, you're a dink. You haven't done it. So the horse sticks its nose out and goes through the Hackamore. You can't take a 12-year-old gelding, to me, put a Hackamore on, think you're going to soften them up, and they've already been pulled on for 10 years. They already know how to push. They'll go right through a Hackamore. But that's it right there. Okay, so now, when you get a horse riding in the Hackamore, you'll put it in your hand, and you'll breathe, and you'll tighten your hand. This is why I want you to have a closed fist instead of this. And the horse will turn its head. That's how good they get. Just by squeezing the Puckett. Animals are sensitive, people are not. So anyway, that's how a Hackamore works. Okay, now, this right here is the #1 brace, right there. See that jaw?
Yeah.
That's what happens in Hackamore horses. When you start pulling on them on the jaw, they start twisting their head. Now, if you've ever seen a mule take somebody down through the barn, it's because they turn their head and they just take the halter and leave.
They like,
That jaw is what happens. So if you have that jaw pointing at you, you have to get rid of that jaw. So as a Hackamore man, if you start to see that, you really need to put the halter back on to fix it.
So what do you want to see, Pat?
I want to see the skull do this.
Tip.
actually turn.
When you turn there, that jaw disappears.
I see.
If there's pointing the jaw at you, it's not correct.
Okay. That makes sense.
Like,
Now,
see how
that
he's
Puckett-
rotating his head correctly right there?
What
Yeah.
I do is I put my Puckett through my buckle, and I go down the right side of the saddle. Okay, everybody goes on the left and they put it over the horn or something. This is the dumbest thing you could possibly do. If you do the math on falling off, about the time you reach here is when it comes tight from there to there.
Right.
So it just puts an extra flip on you. And you end up underneath the left hind foot. That's why here, if you go off, you got 3 feet to decide if you're going to walk home or not. As you're leaving, you just grab that and you got it. That's why these are on here. Bueno? Now watch this horse. And to introduce a Hackamore, you do it in hand. So I'm going to say, there, and I give it back. If you hang on a Hackamore, you'll fail. Okay, if you pull with both hands at the same time with a Hackamore, you'll fail. That's something you never do. Snaffle bit, people pull on them even to make them back up. That's the way it works. Hackamore, it's not. You 1, 2, 1, 2. If you pull with equal pressure with both hands, you will lose the feel of a Hackamore. Period. So now you can appreciate that when this horse starts getting to ride, after schooling him, he's going to bridle himself up. That's why the collection comes in on his own. See that? That's starting to be collection. That's how a Hackamore works.
And I'm sorry, Pat. It's in the correct place on his nose now?
Yeah, when it rolls, it's going to go to the soft part.
I see. Okay.
It could be a little bit lower. Yeah, right there.
It's like
Wow.
you put your hand here from the
It's
nostril.
about 4 inches. But what you got to know on this part is that because this being adjustable, you can move it that much as you're schooling a horse. And you need to know to do that. But right now, this Hackamore, I would lower it just a little bit, but it's rolling towards the cartilage.
Right. Okay.
So every time you pull on a Hackamore, you're not pulling on their mouth.
And the thing that you were talking about being 10.5 inches is the thing around his mouth, right?
It's from
It's
the
from-
inside of here to the inside of the plug. And I just ordered 2 10-inch ones because there's getting to be more and more people that are starting colts like yours. That a 12-inch Hackamore was made for a 1,300-pound Oregon shitter. Get it? It was made for a big bronco. It wasn't made for a nice refined colt like we have now.
Or the people that ride them really high.
Now my colt Chinaco, he's got a head like a Suffolk Ram. It's only a face a mother could love. So
Oh,
he has a full-blown Hackamore that's 10.5 inches, but it ain't 12.
Yeah.
But a horse like yours would be a 10-inch Hackamore.
I think mine is 10.5.
Because this is 2 wraps. I
That's
don't
not
like
bad.
more than 2 wraps on a Bosal.
you can put 2 wraps in a hui, you're done.
I like one in the rein and 1 wrap personally. If you start watching, and you'll see up to 7 wraps on the Hackamore.
And the whole, it's like 6 inches behind the horse's jaw, and it flops around
Reading about how a lot of
and it bends the Hackamore also.
Oh, sure, because of the weight.
Yeah, it bends it
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
Supposed
How do you,
It's
you know,
supposed to fit like a hat.
how do
When
you
this
get it to
comes off,
soften
it'll
up
just
and go
push
in?
against the mouth. So you block it with a block.
Okay.
And
And then-
this one, I tied the nose band with hay string and hung it in the house for 4 months before I put
And
it
it had
on
a
my
wooden
colt.
block back there.
You put a 2x4 in here on edge and then tie in front of it. Now you make it oval. A Hackamore is supposed to be oval, not a V. And like you said, if you can put your hand through here, it's too big. It's not right.
Okay.
It fits like a hat.
It fits that horse pretty good.
It does, actually. So,
touching
anyway,
all the way around.
that's the Hackamore. Bueno?
Thank you.